Hey YouTube, this is Nathan with Team ECHSTeamMILE. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what our regionals was like. It's about 11 o'clock. We just got back from Miami. It's a 3-hour drive, and it was pretty fun. I made it to the top 40th, actually, with MiLE. I was surprised that I made it that far. I was expecting more injectors and windups. Didn't really see that. I saw a lot of Dino Rabbit and then a lot of Chaos Dragon. That was really what was in the last few rounds that I played. Interestingly enough, I made it into about the top 40th and I was in the top 40th pairings. The way our regionals works is it's 2 out of 3 matches, like most of them are, and then you get points per win. So if you win one match, you get 3 points, and a match consists of the game's best 2 out of 3. Draw will result in 1 point rather than three for both players. And then, of course, you got the situation where if you tie, there's tie-breaking matches. But the way that ours worked is we had about 200 people, and then the top 24 were invited to nationals. Unfortunately, I didn't win enough to go to nationals, but it was nonetheless good practice. So what I was interested in was that most people were running Dino Rabbits. I mean, there was an immense amount of Dino Rabbits. I played my fourth game was Dino Rabbits, and just watching other people's games, you could see that that's all they were running. Um, for my game matchup, the first matchup I had was against an interesting deck, and I gotta give props to the guy. I don't recall his name, but he was running Chaos Exodia. He opened up the game by banishing Necroface with Gold Sarco, and I thought, okay, so he's playing MiLE maybe. He's playing just Chaos, and he threw away top 5 cards of his deck, and 2 of them were Exodia. So I was like, oh, okay. And it really throws you for a loop because he looks like he's going for a stall Exodia. He gets some cards out, but then he wrecks you. He brought out BLS on me, Chaos Sorcerer, Dad, just all the beaters that destroy your whole field. And my mill works primarily on face downs, so we use BLS to banish face downs, Dad to destroy the rest of my cards, and then I was pretty much done in 2 turns. He beat me in my first 2 matches and didn't get to play him for a third one. My second matchup was, interestingly enough, a mirror match of a deck destruction deck. The kid was playing Empty Jar, and I figured I had it covered with Prohibition, and I was right. Ended up winning my first game, losing my second game, and winning my third, simply because my third game I drew in a Prohibition first turn, and he must have had Morphing Jar in his hand because he did absolutely nothing for the whole game. He was very good though. Our final game ended. We were about 5 minutes over time, and he had my deck down to 1 card, and I had him deck out. So he's pretty good, but I just beat him just with Prohibition, so I don't like empty jar milling decks. Third game was Inzectors, I believe. Yes, third game was Inzect. No, I'm sorry. Third game was a defaulted win. I ended up playing Dino Rabbits, and it was a guy I was not supposed to play. He and his partner next to him actually swapped seats, so the kid I was sitting next to, because we were in our proper seats, won a game by default. Um, so it was kind of stupid. We ended up playing games anyways. We played against Dino Rabbits. It was pretty simple with Mel. I was able to throw away most of their cards before I could do anything. I believe I won 2 out of 3 on that match. Fourth game was Inzectors, which I was completely worried about, and I had nothing to side for. When I make my new mill profile, you guys will see what I've figured out that I want to run for Inzectors, although they might be kicked out of the metagame if they get hit by the ban list too hard. But as of right now, that's a problem for me, and hopefully I can fix that. Fifth game was uh, what did I play fifth game? Fifth game I played with a guy who was running Chaos Dragons, and I wasn't too worried, but he ended up winning, and it was kind of upsetting too because I wasn't paying attention. He went to activate Monster Reborn, and the way this kid was playing, rather than most of their playstyles, which was make a move or attempt to make a move, they would say, and then response, this kid was just going through his turns. I was paying attention. I missed the activation of Dark Bribe and didn't feel like going back. Lost the first game, and then had him about halfway down his cards, and then he just wrecked my field with Dad, and he had the second game on me. So that was my third loss. I decided to continue playing just because. I sat down in my next match, which was a defaulted win. The guy just said, I'm just going to leave. And so he did, and I was given a win. And then my next game was Chaos Dragons again, which I lost to. And when I lost 4, I decided to leave. I think that's 7 games. I'm missing 1. I played Chaos Exodia, Mirror Match Mill, Dino Rabbits, which was messed up, Inzectors, Chaos Dragons, defaulted win, Chaos Dragons. That's 8. So that was my lineup. Um, I would have been interested to have stayed to see what the other people were choosing to play, but it would have been real late, and I didn't feel like getting home that late. So that's what I can tell you about our regionals. Just for those of you who don't know, regionals, of course, again, is 2 out of 3 matches. It's a percentage based off of how many people are there that the invites go out to. Ours was set up 24. You get nationals invite. 8 you get a dual mat. 4 you get something, and then 4 you get a dual box instead of a binder. They usually give out binders, I guess. The only thing I'm really gonna beat up on was the fact that the staff for the card shops were terrible. Brad's Sports Cards and Collectibles had 2 guys running the shop, or had 3 people running the shop, and 2 of them were just terrible. You'd talk to them and they weren't paying attention, or you'd talk to them and they wouldn't come up and greet you, say how can I help you. They would just sit there and stare off into the distance. It was a little frustrating. Nonetheless, my friends and I probably give them $50 for miscellaneous packs and cards. They had nice cards. They were a little overpriced, but it wasn't too bad, so I was able to deal with that. That was our overall regionals experience, and I will be uploading a video tomorrow of my MiLE deck after regionals in order to compensate for those 3 meta decks, of course, windups, Dino Rabbits and Inzectors, and now Chaos Dragons. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.